G'day guys, I hope you've all been enjoying Silksong's long-awaited release. I know I have. I've played like 10 hours of it so far, and it's already I'm sorry, what was that? They put out a DST beta on the day of the Silksong release? Wait, there's a new cave biome? Alright, I'm gonna need another coffee for this. So yeah, if you haven't heard, there's a new update for Don't Starve Together, currently in the beta branch under the name Ancient Echoes. And being a beta, it's subject to changes and additions and some bugs as well, hopefully not as many as Silksong though. And to begin, we need to head into the new biome. Now, it might not look like much, but there's a bit more going on under the hood. The entire area is covered by fumaroles, which are these rocky vents, and boulder boughs, which are the trees with giant boulders on the top of them. If you chop them down, not only do you get all the goodies that are hanging from the branches, but you also get a boulder landing on your head if you don't get out of the way in 0.2 seconds. Maybe a weather pane would be a good option here, just saying. Mining the boulder itself will also give you a seed which you can plant elsewhere. And this is one of the things I'm really excited about, because you see all the goodies in the branches? That changes depending on what biome you plant the tree in. I've planted them in a couple of spots around the caves and got thulecite fragments from the atrium and fossil fragments from the stalagmite area. Yep, fossils are renewable now. I haven't tested these in every biome, but I imagine there would be a bunch of useful items you will be able to reliably gather from these trees, including gems, and they only take about a day to fully grow. At this point in the beta, there doesn't seem to be a way of generating more boulder bough seeds though. There are quite a lot in the biome, but once those are gone, that's it. Hopefully this is something we'll see in the future. And you may also want to bring a mooncaller staff or another way to cool down with you when you explore this biome, since the fumaroles make the surrounding area quite hot. You can mine them down if you don't want them around though, which might be a good idea if you want to hang out in here when the rifts are on, because they start spewing out miasma all over the place. This obviously makes the area a lot more difficult to traverse. If only there was some kind of indestructible centipede that could eat the miasma. Oh wait, there's one here. Say hello to the Mega Blight, or Ripple to its friends. This little fella is not aggressive and wanders around the biome looking for tasty miasma to feast on. If it eats enough, it will grow an extra link. And I don't know if I want it to eat all the miasma in the world and grow into an all-encompassing entity, or not eat anything at all and stay as small as possible, because just bumping into this thing hurts a lot. As of this moment, you cannot do any damage to Ripple, and even rift equipment like the Bright Shade Smasher bounces right off. It does seem as though there will eventually be a way to upgrade tools or weapons to make them strong enough to pierce the shell, but it's yet to be seen how that will work. I'm assuming this will be a renewable way of getting Dreadstone and Pure Horror though, which would be a very nice quality of life addition. But that's not the only new area in this update. There's a secret offshoot of the archives that is only accessible from this new whirlpool somewhere out in the ocean. I'd recommend not bringing your nicest boat when visiting this place, because it does smash it to pieces, but you do get all the materials back at least, and you don't even get wet, which was nice to discover as WX. In the entrance room there are a few statues and a Sanctum waymark. I mentioned this was an offshoot of the archives because you need to have activated the archives before anything in here will work. Thankfully you can always head through the egress to find yourself at the sealed portal. I wonder if the portal will actually open in the full release of this update and if you can go back and forth. But for now there's only one way in and one way out. Once the archives have been turned on, you can touch the waymark to head into the maze. Straight away you're given 3 golden masks, the Elytra, Visionist, and Artificer's mask. These won't necessarily help you in the rooms beyond, but they let you read what was written by the ancients and learn more about the purpose of this area. Also, they look really cool. From here onwards, you need to take waymarks to progress. Each one will take you to a different part of the maze, and it's really easy to get lost in here, so it wouldn't be the worst idea to bring some items along with you to leave a trail of breadcrumbs so you can find your way back. There are a bunch of interesting rooms in here with awesome looking statues. I also absolutely adore the giant pillars that you see around the place, and much like the ones in the archives, I hope we'll be able to build these ourselves one day. At the end of the maze, you reach the puzzle room. Once you pull the lever, you need to step on these precarious piles of rocks and get past the sequitors to access the other side. As WX shrewdly points out, they mirror the moves you take, so you will need to use that to your advantage to get through. At the end, there's a little note saying that the final room is not complete. I'm not sure if we'll get that before the end of the beta or if we have to wait until the next major update, but I cannot wait to see what's locked up behind there, especially given the pretty stern warnings around its contents. But that's about all for now. Let me know in the comments if you've tried out this beta and have uncovered anything I might have missed, or if you have any thoughts about what's coming up. As always, thank you very much for watching. Special thanks to my channel members and supporters. I'm going to go back to my Silksong playthrough, and until next time, take care.